Hello, little people. Mr. Bruce here with another book today about bears. Same bear as yesterday, different book. And today's book is Bear's Shadow. We all know what a shadow is. Let's see how the bear finds his shadow. But until we start, eyes watching, ears, 1, 2, listening, voices quiet, and body calm. Bear Shadow. One day, Bear went down to the pond with his fishing pole and a big can of worms. While he was putting a worm on the hook, he looked down and saw a big fish. "I'm going to catch that fish," he thought. Bear stood up to throw his line into the water. But when he got there, his shadow scared the big fish. "Go away, Shadow," said the bear. "You're scaring my fish away." But the bear's shadow would not go away. You can see his shadow there, and there's the fish running away. He wants nothing to do with that. There's Bear and his shadow again. "Okay," Bear said, "if you won't go on your own, I'll just have to get rid of you." And he put down his fishing pole and began to run away. He ran around the pond, and when he got to the other side, he kept running and running and running. He ran through a field of flowers, jumped over the brook, and hid behind a tree. Good, thought Bear. Now Shadow can never find me. Oh, yeah? Even though he's behind a tree, what happens when he goes out from behind the tree? Yep, he was wrong. The second he stepped out from behind the tree, the first thing he saw was his own shadow. Nearby was a cliff. Bear walked over to the cliff and looked up it. "I'll climb up so high, the shadow won't be able to follow me," he thought. That's a good idea. That's pretty high up, though. Bear climbed higher and higher until at last he pulled himself up to the top. Huffing and puffing, he smiled with pride. Then he looked down, and what did he see? Oh, yeah, he saw his shadow. It followed him all the way up. Now, Bear was very annoyed, and he went home and got a hammer, and he got some nails, and he tried to nail his shadow into the ground. You can't nail a shadow, can you? He hammered, and he hammered, and he hammered. No matter how many nails he hammered, he couldn't get his shadow to stay nailed down. He just took a step. Look, every time he walked away, his shadow went with him. If I can't nail him down, thought the bear, maybe I can bury him. So he got a shovel and he dug a hole. When the hole was deep and wide, he let his shadow fall right into the hole. Then Bear filled the hole with dirt. When he was finished, it was almost noon. The sun was high in the sky. Shadow was nowhere to be seen. "At last," he said, "at last, no more shadows." You know why? Because when the sun is straight up in the sky, like at lunchtime, there is no shadow. Just for that little bit of time, when it's straight overhead, nobody has a shadow. And there he stood, so proud of himself. The sun was right up over his head, and there was no shadow. But now, Bear was very, very tired. He went inside, took a little nap. Oh, doesn't that look good? Well, while he was sleeping, the sun kept traveling overhead. And once again, it cast shadows everywhere it went. When Bear woke up and he opened his door, he saw his shadow on the floor. "Not you again," he said. He slammed the door, hoping to lock the shadow inside, but the shadow was way too quick. As soon as he slammed the door, his shadow was against the door. "Oh," said the bear, "how about this? If you let me catch a fish, I'll let you catch one too. Nod your head if you want this to be a deal." And the bear nodded his head, and the shadow nodded his head too. So the bear went back to the pond, and once again he threw his line in the water. But this time the sun was in a different part of the sky, and it made it easy for the shadow to stay off the water and keep his part of the deal. And guess what? When the bear caught his fish, the shadow caught his own fish too. The end. Well, it's tough to get rid of a shadow because a shadow goes everywhere you go. But you know when you don't see a shadow? At night or when the sun's not out. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow with another book. Until then, please be good to your folks and wash your hands. Bye-bye.